Hey everyone, I am Jo and I am back again. So I wanted to tell you guys what's been going on with me. So I started to read this book that I have ordered a couple of months ago because I have like books that I have ordered and that I haven't found the time to read yet. Right? So this book is by John Bradshaw. It's called Healing the Shame That Binds You. You guys can look up his lecture here on YouTube. He has other books like Homecoming, and like I said, his lectures are still on YouTube. He was amazing. I say that he was because unfortunately he passed away in the year 2016. And so this book is just so amazing because it talks about shame being like at the core root of our problems, of the self-hate, or the low self-esteem, of the addictions and everything else behind some of our like toxic traits and behaviors and patterns that we have adapted in order to survive being neglected or physically or sexually abused, right? So with me, I can talk about certain issues that I have. For example, food addiction and overspending money. So I overspend money on food, like ordering a lot of Uber Eats when I could just easily cook something. The reason why I do this, and I've been doing shadow work regarding this, is because when I was younger and I felt alone, buying pizza, buying Chinese food made me feel so much better, greasy, unhealthy foods, right? As a kid, I don't recall my parents ever, especially my mom. I say that especially her because my dad was always working, and so she was the one that would be around the house the most. And I don't ever recall her trying to like help out so that I and my sibling could eat healthier food. She would eat healthy food, but my sister and I did not like find the curiosity to learn how to eat healthier food. So now that I'm an adult, I'm working on eating healthier foods because my mind is already set up that I like fried food. I'll take my earrings. I like fried food. I like unhealthy food because the taste just feels so good, and when I eat it, it makes me feel like I'm full. Versus when I eat a healthier meal, I don't feel the same sense of gratification, because I remember when being younger, being left alone and I would have $3 or $5. The easiest thing I could do, let me go to the pizza place and buy myself some pizza. And eating the pizza made me feel so good, right? Another thing is that I remember being shamed from, like, for example, like my weight will go up and down. I remember gaining a couple of pounds and me becoming, getting taller and developing. And how if I wanted to like go for seconds to like eat a little more or whatever, then I would be shaming to like, oh, you shouldn't be eating all that food because you're, I don't know, fat or whatever the case might be, or getting little side comments about my weight and things like that. I remember being 5'7", 144 pounds, and hearing my mother on the phone saying that I was obese. As you guys can see, I'm not obese. I'm not, overweight or anything like that. But I did struggle with time. There were times where I was in fact overweight, but at 5'7" and 144 pounds, that is not being obese, right? So I will internalize those things. And I remember also being in school and being shamed for like making a mistake, or like getting embarrassed or getting bullied because of what I look like, or because of what I was wearing, or because things like that, or because I just didn't fit in with other people. So everywhere you go, kind of, sort of, so you have a family system that they're shameless. So he explains in the book. So these are people like our parents or whoever your caretakers are, that they deem themselves perfect as a god. And so they feel like they don't have any shame themselves. Like everything that they do is okay. So then with the shame, okay, you're supposed to have healthy shame, and then there's shame that is bad, the unhealthy kind of shame. Right? And so with that also comes with boundaries. So because our parents see us as an extensions of themselves, and they never saw us as individuals, whatever they feel, then project that onto you. So then you start feeling like, okay, they feel like they have no healthy shame. So they have the type of shame that is bad. So they're shameless because they feel like they're a god. So then they transmute all their negativity and all their shame and all their unhealthy feelings onto you. So then you start feeling like the shame that they don't want to feel. And so then you start rejecting yourself. And this explains all kind of addictions: sex addictions, gambling, work addictions. And he talks about the different roles that you play within the dysfunctional family system. For example, I played the scapegoat, and I also played the role of the lost child. Meanwhile, my sibling played the role of the hero, and she was also like the parent to my parents, always finding paperwork for them, filling out checks for like to pay the rent and things like that, because my parents just, to this day, they just haven't taken the time to learn how to do it. Also, like, so they act like they're incapable of doing it, which I don't understand why they feel like they're incapable of doing it. So that, I guess that's where the arrested development comes from, or whatever the case may be. But listen, you guys, I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. I really do, because now that's making me look into like, oh, my food addiction, my overspending addiction, my self-avoidance addiction, like avoiding certain things that I know and I need to work on, thinking magically something's gonna come and just magically fix my issues, when that's not gonna happen. And you know, like, there are times where I've wondered, like, maybe I'm a narcissist or something like that. I mean, I don't know, or borderline personality. I really don't know. But whatever it is that I am or I'm not, I do really do want to get better. I do want to get healthier. I've been doing yoga. I've been doing a little bit of shadow work there and there. And I'm also taking Kung Fu classes, because I want to learn how to master my mind. It's not easy. It's very challenging, but I feel like I need to do it. Because for so long, like, I spent a lot of time like in bed and avoiding people years ago and stuff like that. And I have so many regrets when it comes to that. But yeah, this book is like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to finish this book, but I'm going to have to reread it again, because it touches on certain things that it's like, oh my God, I get it. Oh my God, this is exactly what this is. And it also talks about issues of like having shame regarding sex, and how having all of that can then, like, you can transmute certain feelings of inadequacy and feeling empty into like wanting to have a lot of sex, and then that creates the sex addiction. And not necessarily that you have like a high sex drive, but because you feel bad, and so you engaging in sexual activity or being promiscuous, then somehow, some way, once you have the release, then that makes you feel good, but then again, you're gonna need it again. So it's like a drug. The same thing with the food for me. Like, I know eating unhealthy fried Chinese food is bad, or pizza, or, you know, pork. But then when I eat it, it just feels so good. But then after I finish eating it, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And then I feel bad. Then I start to feel shame. So many issues, but I highly recommend Healing the Shame That Binds You by John Bradshaw. I'm telling you guys, this book is life-changing, okay? It's extremely life-changing. So I highly recommend, and I hope you guys continue to do well. And yeah, I'm gonna have to continue doing this work, because there's certain things about me that I feel like I still need to change it. For example, before I go, I noticed that and that sometimes I always just want to be nice and be a good person, and me expressing anger, then I end up feeling guilty, because I feel like expressing anger is wrong, because anytime I try to express anger, I was shut down. My parents were able to express anger, but I wasn't able to express anger. So I've turned into, oh, I always gotta be nice, and which translate into kind of being like a people pleaser kind of thing. And then other people take advantage of that, and then you end up getting upset. But at the end of the day, it is kind of like your fault, even though you're doing these kind of behaviors out of ignorance, because you don't know any better. But I feel like I definitely need to work on that. And also another thing I need to work on is that sometimes we're going through like really rough situations, and I'm like, oh, I'm fine. But in reality, I'm not fine. I'm just avoiding feeling whatever it is, emotion that I feel, that I don't want to feel it because it scares me to feel it, or I feel like it's wrong to feel that emotion. So I hope that helps, and see you guys the next time. Peace out, you guys.